कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्।
So we were discussing the sixth Kariga, and sixth and seventh we mentioned. So you find in this sixth and from sixth to ninth Kariga, you find a description of different views which were prevalent during his time, which Gaudapada refutes. Views on creation. Sixth Kariga deals with the school of thought called Pranavadinaha. I mean, according to them, prana gives life to everything. So prana is the upadana karana, is the essence of the whole existence. That is the Prabhava Sarvabhavanam Sudamiti Vinishchayaha Sarvam Janeti Pranaha. That's the school. That's their view. And then the next school is Purushavadinaha. They consider a Saguna Sagara Sabhisesha Purusha as the created. So they have their own pramanas, Purusha evedam sarvam yadbhutam yachabhavyam. And they take some verses from Gita, Mammaivamso Jivaloke. Anyway, I'm not going, these are not important because Gaudapada statement, Deva Sesha Subhavoyam Aptakamasya Kaspraha. So he is going to refute all these views because these are all creation theories which believe in the reality of creation, which is not acceptable to Advaitins, which is not acceptable to the Siddhanta Paksha or Gaudapada. So generally speaking, there are different views in connection with this particular school of thought. Asti, that means creation is real. That's the view of Naiyayikas and Vaisheshikas, Kanada and Gautama. And then Nasti, there is no absolute reality. That is Kshanikavada, Vijnanavada, etc. And Asti and Nasti called Syadvada of Jainas. And Shunyam, everything is Shunyam, everything is nothingness according to Nagarjuna. In the eighth Kariga you find, for example, we are going to deal with that, Ichchamatram Prabho Srishtihi. Srishtu Idhi Srishtu Vinischitaka Kala Prasudim Bhudanam Manyante Kala Chindakaka. And then Bhogartham Srishtihi the Anye Kiridartham Idhi Chapare. Up to this you find a description of different views. That is Satya Sankalpa Srishti. This view was mostly held by some schools of theists during Gaudapada's time. Sometimes they called Aupanishadikaha, means those who held the view of the reality of creation, the reality of Srishti. Later on, if you find the rites, the teachings of Ramanuja, Madhva, Vallabha, Nimbarka, you find they also believe that the whole creation is a creation of Satya Sankalpa, Ishvara. When Ishvara does a Sankalpa, it becomes a reality. Then when it is Kala Deva Srishti, That is another view. Kalat prasudim. That's me. Everything happens in time. So this is a view which believe that Ishvara or God has no role in creation or in the running of creation. So Ishvara is udasina, I mean he is totally non-involved in either creation or the functions of creation. And now again from 9th Karika you find, of course it deals with the purpose of creation. Kim prayojana means why did God create the world? So you find bhogartham, kridartham, all these are mentioned here. Kridartham. That is also sometimes held by some schools of philosophers in later times. You know, the Chaitanya school, Baladeva school. You find they also believed in this. Everything is a leela of Ishvara. So all these views are refuted by Gaudapada with the statement Devasya Esha Subhavaha. Creation is just a Subhava. Subhava means an inherent, inseparable quality, like the heat and light of fire. You don't ask a question why the fire is hot or why it has got effulgence. It is its Subhava. Means you take light and heat from fire, then it ceases to exist. So there is no question. It is just the Subhava of Ishvara. This is the view of Vedantins. Of course, Vedantins they held this view without accepting the absolute reality of Srishti. And also, they did not accept any distinction between the Srashta and Srishti. So that's what we are going to discuss in the coming verses. So you can go to the Bhashya. Yeah, let me see where we stopped last time. This is the background, just to give a background. Yes. So now we are going to the Bhashya on the 6th Karika. We just gave a brief description, but we didn't deal with it elaborately. Satam vidyamananam svena avidyakrita nama rupa maya surupena sarvabhavanam vishwa taijasa prajna bhedanam prabhavaha utpatti. So, satam vidyamananam, that means Svena sadam vidyamananam. In fact, the world exists as Atman, just as the Sarpa exists as Rajju. Sarpa is a reality as Rajju, because if Rajju is not there, you won't mistake Rajju for Sarpa. Only Sarpa is Rajjurubena Satyam, Sarparubena Mithya. Like that, the Jagat is Brahmarubena Satyam, Jagadrubena Mithya. That is a Vedantin's view. Why? That's again related to Satkarivada, you should remember. Satam, Vidyamananam, Svena here means Sadrubena, Surupena. Surubena Satam, Vidyamananam. They already exist, the world exists. But in the Avyagrata state, without Nama, Rupa, etc., the world exists. Means it exists in Atman, just like the tree exists in the seed. The tree existed in the seed, otherwise you don't get a particular tree when you plant a particular seed. So there is an inseparable relationship. That means the tree is an involved state in the seed. Avidyakru namarupa maya surupena. So, right now they exist as avidyakruta maya surupena. I mean, nama, rupa, all this exists. But they are all vidyamananam. They already exist. Even before they began to manifold. as Nama Rupa. Again, you have to remember, it becomes very simple if you keep in mind the analogy of Rajju Sarpa. That because that's a classic example, which is actually did not begin with Shankaracharya. In fact, it was used by Kumarila Bhatta in the Tantravartika, and also it was used by Nagarjuna in Madhyamika Karika. So Rajju Sarpa Bhranti is a very ancient analogy. I mean, Rajju is already there. That Rajju is mistaken to be Danda Bhuchidra. Bhuchidra means a crack on the floor. Danda means a stick, a curved stick, which closely resembles the shape and the color of the Rajju. Or a thin stream of water, which again closely resembles the shape and color and the size of the Rajju, the rope. So all these things are vikalpas, which you manifest, which you impose, which is superimposed upon the Rajju. So they exist, but they exist only as Rajju, not as Sarpa, Danda, etc. Like that, this world already exists. Only what exists can come into existence. Now you will understand the logic of this if you contrast this with the opposite view. According to Naiyayikas and Vaisheshikas, who believe in Arambhavada, it's called Asatkaryavada, which tells you that only from abhava something can come into existence. So for example, you want to prepare curd, and for that milk should get destroyed. So milk should become absent. From its abhava only curds come into existence. The seed should become the seed should become absent. So bija abhava or bija nasha, it should get destroyed. Then only a plant can emerge. If the mango seed is there, then you can't have a mango tree from that mango seed. So they say the mango seed should be planted in soil, in a fertile land, then it should cease to mango seed, it should get destroyed. So from its abhava, from its asat, only the effect, karya, come into existence. It's called asatkaryavada. So this is the view of Naiyayikas and Vaisheshikas. It's called Arambhavada. It's called. Satkaryavadins, on the other hand, they say Asat agaranat upadana grahana sarva sambhava abhava shaktasya shakya garanat karana bhava cha satkaryam. So it means, see, upadana grahanat, So actually the cloth was there in the form of threads, tantu. The oil was there in the form of seed. So from that oil seeds you get oil. So there is only because what is shakyam, what means that come into existence, the potency to come into existence is already there. Otherwise you won't get it. So if you plant coconut seed, you can get a mango tree. So there is an inseparable samavai, that is called samavai sambandha, means inseparable inherent relationship called samavai sambandha, samavai karana. Means the mango seed is the samavai karana of mango tree, or the clay is the samavai karana of clay pot. The gold is the samavai karana of golden ornaments. So the golden ornaments is inherent. It is sat. It exists in gold. That's why from gold you get golden ornaments. You don't get something else. So there is an inseparable, inherent relationship. So samavai sambandha is there. Like that, this nama rupa prapancha, which is in avidyakrita nama rupa maya surupena. So this avidyakrita nama rupa prapancha already exists. As Svena. Svena means Surupena. Atma Rupena. The world exists as Atma. That's why I said last time I mentioned Brahma Satyam, Jagat Satyam is an important conclusion of the statement Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Because if you begin with Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam, it becomes Dvaita. You are admitting the possibility of something other than Brahman, and you are eager to refute it. So you say it is Mithya. So Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya is the penultimate state, and it is only prelude to the final statement Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam. Because once you realize the Mithyatvam of Jagat, there will be no need to make a statement about it. What is obviously unreal, you don't need to refute it. That's the idea behind. That's why Sadam Vidyamananam Svena Vidyakru Nama Rupamaya Surupena Sarvabhavanam Vishwa Taidasa Praknya Bhedanam Prabhavaka. Vishwa Taidasa means Jivas. Jivas experiencing as Vishwa in Jagra state, Taijasa in Swapna state, Prajna in Sushupti states. All days exist, but that they exist as Tudiya. This particular paragraph will be more obvious and clear when Bhashyagara discusses Vibhudim Prabhavam tu Anye, the particular paragraph where he discusses Srishti, different schools of Srishti, and Advaitin schools of Srishti, meaning where Srishti and Srashta are the same, Abhedatvam between Srishti and Srashta. When that is discussed in that particular succeeding paragraph, this idea becomes clear. Vakshadi Vandhya Putro na Tatvena Mayaya Vapi Jayate Yedi hi Asadameva Janmasyat Brahmanaha Avyavaharasya Grahana Dwara Abhavat Asattu Prasangaka. So here is a well-known statement. Vandhya Putra means from Asat nothing can ever come into existence. So that is Asat. Kapushpa Dhrutashekharaha Vandhya Sutaha Sashasringa Dhanudharaha. All these you find different views. First of all, what is obviously asat means absolute non-existence. It will be expressed in the language of mutual or self-contradiction. So, Vandhya Putra means. If it is Vandhya, there cannot be Putra. If there is a Putra, he may not be the son of a Vandhya. So, there is an inherent contradiction, means impossibility. Absolute impossibility. Kapushpa Dhrutashekhara. So if somebody says, well, he is walking, Esha Vandhyasuto Yati, Kapushpa Dhrutashekhara. Here is a Vandhya Putra is going and is wearing the flower, a flower which grows in the sky. So you can say if it is flower, it cannot be from the sky. No, it's not possible. So, and even if it is from the sky, it cannot be flower. So, the expression itself involves its negation. It is called asat. So, Vandhya Putro Anatatvena Vayaya Vapi Jayade. So, that complete asat, it doesn't exist either tatvena, either paramartha drishtiya, means either from the absolute standpoint or from the relative standpoint. It cannot even be called mithya, because when you use the word mithya, there is a remote distant possibility of it being mistaken to make a point. It is mithya. So when you may mistake the Rajju for Sarpa, the Pradibhasika Satta exists in your mind. So you superimpose upon it, and when you see the reality of rope, that Sarpa Buddhi disappears, Sarpa Brahma disappears. Actually, Rajju is, from a Advaita point of view, it is only a mithya entity. But when you realize Brahman, when you become a Brahmajnani, even the Rajju and the entire creation to which it belongs, all will be sublated, will be properly understood to be mithya. So, when Pradibhasika Satta disappears when you realize Vyavaharika, and Vyavaharika disappears when you realize Paramarthika. But Vandhyaputra cannot exist either Tattvena or as the absolute reality or Mayaya or as Mithya reality. It is absolute asat, absolute non-existence. Again, now here Bhashikara gives a pramana here. Nehi yadihi asadam eva janmasyat. Suppose you make a statement, the whole creation is from asat, Asadeva Damagraya seed you find in Chandogya Sruti. The asat here, according to Vedanta, means avyakrita. But some of the schools of thought which don't agree with Advaita, they would say Asadeva idamagrayasi, they means the Chandogya statement, they say asat means absolute non-existence. But according to Vedantins, asat here means avyakrita. The state of creation before it became creation of manifoldness. Yadihi asadameva janmasya. Suppose you argue that creation comes from asat. Then what's the problem? The problem is Brahmanaha avyavaharasya grahanadwara abhavat. What happens, After all, when we practice, when you do spiritual practices, when you do spiritual practices, practice spiritual disciplines, what happens? You feel Satchidananda, you feel Atmanubhuti, you feel bliss. All these will naturally be the result. But if you say all these come from asat, then how do you understand, how do you ever think of some absolute reality? After all, when you practice spiritual disciplines, you feel bliss, you feel contentment, you feel Atmanubhuti, you feel this spiritual upliftment. That's what you feel. So we try to infer from this Vyavahara experience, that is called, from this Vyavahara experience, we infer, well, there is such a thing as Brahma Sakshatkara. And then we go deeper and deeper into spiritual practices. Because we try to see a relationship between our experience of bliss or contentment and some spiritual reality behind it, which is the cause of it. But suppose you say that everything that you experience, including Jagat Srishti, all Vyavaharas, originate from asat, then the cause of all the Satchidananda, Atmanubhuti, all blissfulness, etc., the cause will be nothingness, asat. So Brahman itself will have to be designated as asat. Why? Because grahanadwara abhava. Because you don't see any connection between your feeling of contentment, bliss, and the idea of Brahma Sakshatkara. So our spiritual practices, spiritual experiences, spiritual feelings of contentment, all these become grahanadwara. Through this we try to understand at the empirical level. When we are practicing spiritual disciplines, we understand the reality of Brahma Sakshatkara, such a higher transcendental experience. That's how we understand. So once we come to a conclusion, as these people, these Asatvadins say, that from asat everything comes into existence, then Brahman itself will become asat. That's why asatya prasangaka. Drishtancha Rajju sarpadinam avidyakrita nama rupa maya bijotpannanam rajjvadi atmana sattvam. So there are 2-3 Padvedas are there, some of these statements. That doesn't make any difference here. Drishtancha. Here's an example. Rajju sarpadinam avidyakrita maya bijotpannanam rajjvadi atmana sattvam. As I already mentioned. Rajju sarpa, that is this pradipasya satta, when you mistake a rajju for a sarpa. These means etc. Means rajju sarpa, or maybe rajju may be mistaken to be danda. Rajju can be mistaken to be bhuchidra, a crack on the floor. It could be mistaken to be a jaladhara, a thin stream of water flowing on the floor. These are possible vikalpas, superimpositions upon rajju. All these brahmas, they have a reality, but they have a reality rajjvatmana sattva. They exist as rajju. So sarpa exists, but not as sarpa, but as rajju. Danda exists, but not as danda, but as rajju. Because when you bring light, what is happening is, sarpa doesn't run away. What you mistook to be sarpa is now revealed to be rajju. The so-called sarpa that you had in your head, in your mind, due to wrong understanding, or danda that you had in your mind, are all now recognized to be what they really are. What are they? Rajju only. So that's why it is said, Rajjvadhyatmana sattvam. So all these maya bijotpannanam, avidyakrita maya bijotpannanam, because of avidya, because of maya, you mistake this world, this manifold world of nama and rupa as real. When you realize Brahman, what happens? This world doesn't run away. The world doesn't cease to exist. The world continues to exist. But the way you look at the world will be different. You will be looking at the world, you will be staring at the world, you will be still seeing the skies, mountains, valleys, etc. You will be still eating food. You will be still doing your work, your duties, obligations, responsibilities. All these will continue. But all these will continue, and all these things will be experienced as non-distinct and non-different from Brahman. Just as what you earlier mistook to be sarpa is now recognized to be rajju. That's the idea behind. So then there is no need for you to say Brahma Satyam Jagad Mithya. After bringing light to the dark room, and after fully understanding the fact that it is rajju only, and then you verify it is not sarpa, rajju only, again you don't go on shouting, no, it is not sarpa, it is not sarpa. No, you don't do that. Why? Because the very idea of it being sarpa becomes totally irrelevant. You won't think about it. That's an idea behind. That's why in the coming paragraph, Bhashyakara tells you the very discussion of Srishti or creation is ridiculous. Why? It is like discussing, well, like this, the qualities, the poisonous nature of the snake, which really doesn't exist there. The snake idea existed because there was not enough light. So you mistook the rajju, the rope, to be the snake. Now you have brought light, you understood it is rajju, it is rope only. And then again you don't go about discussing whether it is a viper or a cobra or some other sarpa, you don't discuss it. Like that, the very discussion of Srishti, creation, who created this world, that's what Bhashyakara is going to discuss in the coming pages. The very discussion of Srishti itself is ridiculous, because Srishti itself is a superimposition. Because the Srishti as a physical entity may be existing there, but it is not distinct and not different from Brahman. What you saw to be the snake continues to lie on the floor, but it is no more recognized to be a snake. It is recognized for what it is. It is Rajju only. So that's the next line of argument after the coming verse. And here is a pramana, nahi niraspada rajju sarpam mriga trishniga deha kvachit upanabhyante kenachit. Nahi niraspada without a substratum. That's again. See, there should be a substratum for misunderstanding. Nahi niraspada. Without an aspada, aspada means a substratum, foundation. To mistake, to get the wrong notion that there is a snake, there should be something lying on the floor. That is substratum. That is Rajju only. It is only a rope. So, without that rope, Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrushniga Dekha. So, all these different vikalpas, superimpositions are listed here in this sentence. Rajju Sarpa means the rope mistaken to be snake. Mrigadrushniga, or you can see from a distance. Mrigadrushniga Bhasisnataha means. It's again the old sloka which highlights the ridiculousness of the asat to be mistaken to be real. So there is a vast expanse of sand. You see from a distance under burning sun during midday. You mistake the vast expanse of sand in a desert to be a lake, pool of water. So it is only that the pool of water is superimposed upon this vast expanse of sand in a desert. That is Mrigadrushniga. So, but there should be a substratum for that wrong understanding, that superimposition. What is a substratum? The substratum is there should be a desert. You don't see a mirage where nothing exists. Something should exist there. And that should somehow be capable of giving the wrong notion, the wrong illusion, hallucination or optical illusion. And that is the vast expanse of sand. When you see it from a distance, under the burning sun, you may mistake the desert, the vast expanse of sand, to be a pool of water. But for the pool of water is like snake. Snakes should, it will require a foundation, a substratum, that is rope, Rajju. So the pool of water also needs a substratum, that is sand. Without sand, there cannot be pool of water. Wrong superimposition. And without Rajju, there cannot be Sarpa. Like that, this world is a pool of water. We may say it's a, let us say it is something like a snake that you superimpose upon Brahman. So there is something behind. You superimpose your wrong notion, Sarpa Buddhi, upon the substratum. The substratum is there. So the world is nothing but a superimposition upon Brahman. That's the idea behind. You accept and recognize the reality of the substratum, but you reject the superimposed false wrong notion. That's the idea behind. There is no pool of water, there is sand. There is no snake, but there is rope. There is no world, but there is Brahman. So what you mistook to be the world is now recognized to be Brahman. That is Brahma Satyam, Jagat Satyam. That's why Nahi Niraspada Rajju Sarpa Mrigadrushniga Dekha. Rajju Sarpa is one, Mrigadrushniga is another. Kvachit upalabhyante kenachit niraspada. Without substratum, there cannot be any kind of superimposition. Yatha rijjvam prak sarpotpattehi rijjvatmana sarpaha. Like the I mentioned, like in rope, before you superimpose the sarpa, means sarpotpattehi prak. Before you superimposed, before you felt like seeing sarpa, Rijjvatmana sarpaha. Sarpa exists. Snake exists in Rijju, but Rijjvatmana. Like that Jagat exists. Brahmarupena. That's the idea behind. Jagat doesn't go away, it doesn't run away. Like the snake doesn't run away from the room when you bring light. Only the snake idea disappears from your mind. Like that, when you realize the reality of Brahman, what happens? The world doesn't cease to exist physically, but the world ceases to exist as a separate reality, which was, that idea was superimposition. I mean, the world exists as non-different from Brahman, as non-distinct from Brahman. So that's the idea of Brahma Satyam, Jagat Satyam. Yatha rijjvam prak sarpotpattehi rijjvatmana sarpaha sanneva asit. Sad means you are existing there. Evam sarvabhavanam utpattehi prak pranabijatmanaiva satyamidi. Similarly, sarvabhavanam utpattehi, prabhava sarvabhavanam, that's a Kariga statement, is further elaborated and concluded. So similarly, sarvabhavanam utpattehi prak, like that. Before all these manifold drishya prapancha, plurality and manifoldness began to exist, they all existed pranabijatmana. They existed as Pranabijatma, means here Bijatma, as I mentioned, Nirbija, Bija. Bijatmana means Avyakrita Rupena, that's meaning here. So the absolute reality as the transcendental Nirguna, Nirupanthika Brahman, Nirakara Brahman, it is not the cause of the world. When you attribute causality to Brahman, it is only Saguna Sakara Savishesha Brahman, which is designated in the Mandukya context as Sarveshwara, Sarvajna, Avyakrita, Antaryami, etc. So all these manifold entities existed in Avyakrita, in Ishvara, just like the tree pre-existed in the seed. Sudhiradi Bhakti, Brahmaivedam, Atmaivedam Agrasid, etc. So all these quotations are given, all this, everything is Brahman, is Avyakrita Brahman. Again, before Srishti, Atmaivedam, Agre means Srishtehe Prak. So, what means is, before the Srishti creation began, only Atman existed. Finally, the Bhashyakara will establish this so-called Srishti creation itself is like the false notions that you get into your head when you see a magic, a jugglery going on the stage. So that will be discussed in the coming context. I mean, the discussion continues in much more emphatic language. Ataha sarvam janedi pranaha. So that is the bhashya on the second line. Sarvam. Sarvam here means drishya prapancham. So the simple principle is that prana creates drishya prapancha. All bhogyas are created by prana. So sthula, sukshma, ananda, all these experiences that we have during waking, dream and deep sleep, jagra, swapna, sushupti states. All these experiences are bhojya. They are created by prana, and all the jivas are created by purusha. So the same Chaitanya existing or functioning as prana creates the drishya prapancha, and the same Chaitanya as purusha creates jivas. And finally, in order to drive home the idea that all these constitute only the relativity, not absolute reality, Bhashya will establish the oneness, the unity of all these. And once you understand the unity and oneness of all these, you also understand that they are not permanent features, they are only different functions that we feel, that we experience during our avidya state, and in their transcendental nature, beyond avidya, they constitute the reality, one truth, one satyam, that is turiya, that will be established in course of time. So sarvam janeti pranaha. Sarvam here means drishyam, bhogyam, that is sthula, sukshma, ananda experiences. Janeti pranaha. Prana here means bijatma. That should be understood. Which is called avyakrita, which creates drishya prapancha. Chetom shun amshava iva revehe chidatmagasya purushasya cheto rupa dilarka samah. Now, jivas are explained. So, bhojya means the objective world, the world that we know, the world that we experience, the world that we experience in jagra, swapna, sushupti states. And what about the jiva? Vishwa, it is a prajna, the experiencer. The jivas are like the reflections of one Chaitanya, one reality on different pools of water. This concept later on gave birth to a distinct school of philosophies. I mean, some of these statements are the foundation of Bimba Pratibimbavada, which is a school of philosophy which developed later. There is Padmapada and others, Prakashatmayati. So Panchapadiga and Panchapadiga Vivarana Prasthana, they later on projected this theory. I mean, all the jivas are like Jalarka Samah, means just like the reflections of one sun reflected on pools of water. So our mana, buddhi, chitta, ahangara, the antakaranas, in short buddhi, so to speak, or mana, either of them, we take it to be the whole of antakarana through this traditional interpretation. So Atman reflecting in our buddhi, that is jiva. So the same Atman, like sun, which reflects on different pots filled with water, may appear to be 1,000, depending upon the number of pots. You have 1,000 pots, there will be 1,000 reflections, pratibimbas. But bimba is only one. So as we practice spiritual disciplines, sadhana, sadhushtaya, sambhati, saravana, marana, nididhyasana, upasana, karma yoga, chitta suddhi, jnana prapti, then moksha. When you reach that state, what happens, this the pool of water is dried up and the pot is broken, something like that. What happens? We realize our identity with the absolute reality. So then what happens? The Pratibimbas, they merge with Bimba. I mean, when we realize our identity with Atman, then our Bheda Drishti, our identity with our own mind, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, all this disappears, and we recognize, we realize our identity with Brahman. This is the basis of the Bimba Pratibimbavada. We will discuss later. There are different schools of thought, Avachedavada, Bimba Pratibimbavada, and Abhasavada. So Vajaspati was the exponent of Avachedavada, and Pratnapada and Prakashatmayati, and succeeding number of interpreters belonging to that Vivarna school. They held the view of Bimba Pratibimbavada. And Sureshwara Acharya was the original exponent of Abhasavada, which got merged with Vivarna Prasthana later. We will discuss that later. So that great statement is coming. Purusha Chetoruva Jalarka Samaha. Chetoruva means Jivas. All Jivas are Jalarka. Jalarka means the Arka, the sun, reflected on the pool of Jala in a pot. That's the idea behind Samaha. Prajna Taijasa Vishwabhedena. So, this reflected sun exists in innumerable species. Deva, Manushya, Tigrigadi, Deha Bhedeshu. In the Dehas, in the Jivas, Shariras of human beings, maybe angels, Devas, and different species. Deha Bhedeshu, different bodies, exist as Vishwa, Taijasa and Prajna. The same Purusha, through Chaitanya, gets reflected on the Buddhi of different entities, different created entities. And there, like Chedomsha means, particles of the same effulgent reality. Vibhavimanaha. So, actually, they don't come into existence Rantakarana of different jivas. What happens? All these exist as one reality as Atman. But in different dehas, different jivas, with different antakaranas, depending upon their own, karma, samskaras, vasana, vritti, and their own level of spiritual evolution, that Atman reflects on the antakarana. So, if you can find Vivekananda's statement, the difference between an amoeba and a Buddha is one of degrees, not of kind. So, the same reality exists in amoeba in a very primitive, unevolved state. And the same reality exists in Buddha. Buddha here means the enlightened one. In that sense it is used. The same reality, the same Chaitanya manifests in a Buddha in a much more evolved, advanced, spiritually advanced state. So that's why the difference is one of degrees and not of kind. Vibhavimanaha means existing, already existing. Chedom Shavaha, ye tan Purushaha Pruthak Sujati. Pruthak here means different, distinct from Bhogyas. So Purusha, using Chaitanya as the Upadhi, gets reflected in all these antakaranas, and depending upon the level of spiritual progress each jiva has made, reflects in antakarana suddhi. It reflects in so many different ways, so many pratibimbas. And prathak sujati, vishaya, bhava, vilakshanan, agni, vispulingavat, salakshanan. So these are very important. Vishaya, bhava vilakshana, distinct. Vishaya bhava vilakshana means distinct, different, separate from bhojya. Because the bhokta, jiva, exists at Vishwa Taijasa Prajna. Bhojya exists as Sthula Sukshma Ananda. So the jivas are created as distinct from Bhojya and experiences Jagrat Swapna Sushupti avasthas. Vishabhav Vilakshanan, Agni Vispulingan. So the sparks of fire. So sparks are non-distinct from fire, but sparks are not the same as fire. Because sparks, these Spulingas, they exist for some time. They emerge from fire. They are made of the same stuff as the fire, but they are different from the fire. The fire is the source. It exists for a long time, but spark emerges for some time and then disappears. Similarly, these reflections, pradibhimbas, they exist only so long as the pool of water and the separate quantity of the pool of water in a pot, whatever it exists. As antakarana gets completely purified, the jnana pranti and moksha, then what happens, these pradibhimbas, they merge with the bimba. All the reflections merge with the real sun. Reflections of sun merge with the real sun. But they are very similar. Salakshana means they have the same lakshanas. Sparks also have effulgence and light. But they come for some time. They are not permanent entities like the fire. That's why Vishayabhava Vilakshanan Agni Vispulingavat. Just a comparison is given, analogy. Agni Vispulingavat, like with the sparks of fire. Salakshanan, because they belong to the same Chaitanya. Jivas are essentially of the same Chaitanya as Purusha or Atman. But they are different. They are only reflections. Or the sparks, just like sparks are the same as fire from which they emerge, but still different from fire. Similarly, jivas are made the same stuff, same Chaitanya as Purusha, but still their existence is only for some time. Their existence is separate from Chaitanya is only for some time. Jirarthavat, the same analogy. The reflections of the sun on a pool of water. Pradibhimba. Jiva lakshanan tu itaran sarvabhavan pranam bijatman janayati. So jiva lakshanam jivan. These all the jiva lakshanam stitaran sarvabhavan. So here prana means antaryami. So the same antaryami on the one hand creates bhojyam, the world of experiences, the external objective world which is experienced in Jagra Swapna Sushupti state as Sthula, Sukshma and Ananda, and the same Antaryami creates by its own Chaitanya creates different jivas. And again here is a quotation, Yathornanabhi sujade grunnadeja yatha pradivya moshadaya sambhavanti yatha sadatpurushat keshalovmani tadaksharat sambhavati vishwam. So the same mantra from Mundaka Upanishad is quoted here. Yathornanabhi, the spider creates the web out of substance that come from its own body. It doesn't come from outside. And then it brings it back to itself. Similarly, the pradibhimbas, the reflections of the sun, merge back to sun. Again, the sparks of fire, when they they exist for a few seconds and then they disappear. But the fire is still there, which means the sparks, the light and the heat, which is Swabhava of spark, have gone back to their original source, the fire. Just like the web goes back to the spider from which it came. Yadakne kshudraha visphulingaha etc. Ityadi sutehe. The same Chaitanya, that is Purusha as Chaitanya creates Jiva, and the same Chaitanya as Prana creates this Bhojya, mean the external world. So now we have got this the 7th mantra, so that you can see for yourself. Yeah. Vibhudim prasavantu anye. Let me see the time. Okay. Vibhudim prasavantu anye manyende srishti chintakaha. Swapnamaya surupedi srishtihi anye vikalpitaha. So vibhuti, there are different schools of creation are given. So to begin with, we have to remember, these different schools of Srishti. One is Sweshara Srishti, the concept of Srishti, concept of creation, which accepts the role of Ishara, and the concept of Srishti, creation, which doesn't accept the role of Ishara. So Vedanta accepts the Sweshara Srishti, the concept of creation, which is a role for Ishvara. But Vedanta is very emphatic in making a statement that Srishti and Srashta are essentially the same thing. So, in the coming paragraph, is a celebrated paragraph, which says, a magician, a juggler, makes some magic show on the stage. It's taken from the ancient Indian rope trick, which is mentioned in many travelogues in Indian history. We don't know if it's happening, but it is mentioned in many travelers, Ibn Battuta, Al-Biruni, and also some of the European travelers who came to India in the 18th century, 19th century. It's mentioned. We don't know if it's real right now or not. So a magician coming to the stage and plays a piece of jugglery, magic. And then he sits somewhere, and because of his expertise as a magician, people are taken for a ride. They think he throws a rope into the sky, and then he climbs the rope, he disappears, and he will announce that there is a war going on in the celestial heavens, and he is called upon to assist the Devas in their fight against the demons. So that's how he plays the trick. And after some time he disappears, and then he himself falls down, cut into pieces. He was killed in a battle. All these are happening and people are watching. Here the magician is like Turiya. Turiya is only reality. Atman is only reality. But then the people watching this think that there is something happening apart from the magician. They think there is a war going on. At least for some time they believe that, because they are paid for the ticket at least. So they believe in this illusion or hallucination. Now, if you are really seeing the magician, who is actually maybe sitting in an easy chair, watching the whole thing, and actually he creates this, he called Indrajalam, he creates the wrong illusion in the minds of the onlookers. When the onlookers, if the onlookers are actually watching the magician seated in an easy chair, they will not be seeing the magic. When they see the magic going on, they will not be seeing the magician. Both cannot happen together. When you are aware of the reality of Turiya, the Atman, then you won't be deluded by the false reality of this world. So here the point is, Mayavi or the magician is only reality. Maya, the magic, is false. Nothing is happening really. For some time, you think a lot of things are happening on the stage. But that's only because the magician is able to create this illusion. Because he's invisible, so Bhashyakara will say Maya Channaha. The magician is concealed. He conceals himself within his own magic, so that he is not visible. He is visible as something else, as somebody else who is going to heavens, fighting the war, and is creating all this for. He can be seen on the stage by the onlookers. But that is a real person. The real man is sitting in the easy chair. By his mental power, maybe psychological power, whatever you may call it, he is creating this illusion. Like that, if we realize the reality of Atman, then you will be taken for a ride by the false reality of this created world. So nobody takes the world as something eternally real if he understands that a magician is playing the magic. So this is a famous paragraph. It is quoted very often. It also is linked to Drishti Srishtivada of Prakashananda, who was a great Vedantic who lived in the 16th century, who established this well-known theory called Drishti Srishtivada, which says creation exists only so long as we are aware of it. Means creation or the world is only a mental construct. It is linked to Eka Jivavada. That is Drishti Srishtivada. And this Drishti Srishtivada was only an argument put forward by Prakashananda to face criticism from some non-Advaitic philosophers like Naiyayikas and Vaisheshikas, and also Ramanuja, Madhva, Vyasatirtha and others, who argued that Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya, Advaita Vedanta explains the world as a creation of Maya. In that case, Maya itself is a category. It has a reality. Without that reality, this world cannot come into existence. So Advaita becomes Dvaita. So this false criticism was put forward by many critics of Advaitins. So in order to give a proper reply to this criticism, Prakashananda, who was a senior contemporary of Appaya Dekshita, wrote the well-known book. It's called Vedanta Siddhanta Muktabali, in which he established Drishti Srishtivada. But in reality, if you read Shankaracharya's own commentary, you find there is absolutely no ground for Drishti Srishtivada, because Shankaracharya is as realistic as he is idealistic. He accepts the reality of the world. In fact, in the Brahma Sutra Bhashya, there are long passages in which Shankaracharya himself refutes the illusionistic theories of subjective idealism of Yogachara philosophers, Bauddhas. Even in the Mandukya itself, you find many statements coming later. So Shankaracharya accepts and recognizes the relative reality of the world. He doesn't dismiss the world as totally a delusion or a dream. He says the world is a reality, but the world does not have an absolute reality. Once you realize one birthless, deathless, Shamvigara, Adida, Avastatraya, Abadhida, Trigala, Abadhida, one transcendental eternal reality behind everything, then you do not dismiss the world as totally unreal, but you understand the world because it is changing all the time. It is only relative. So we will come to that in the coming session. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.